All right, guys, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Kenny and Ziska. Appreciate you tuning in. I've got a great episode lined up for you guys today. If you haven't been following me on social media, Facebook, Instagram, etc., I often do live videos, and what I wanted to do today is share the audio from one of those live videos with you today. I try to take the most popular videos that I've done, extract the audio, and share it with you here on the podcast, so that you don't have to go around hunting on Facebook to find these very raw and kind of off the cuff, non-rehearsed, non-scripted episodes that I do. So hope you guys enjoy these episodes that I share with you guys. But before we get into today's episode, just have a very quick reminder, actually a couple reminders for you guys. Number one, if you haven't already done so, would appreciate it if you take the time to go over to iTunes. Made it easy for you guys. Just go to kenyanziska.com/iTunes. Take you right to the page where you can leave a review, leave a rating, subscribe to the show, and also if you know of someone who would benefit from hearing the various strategies, mindset, the tools, whatever it may be, whatever we talk about here on the podcast, if you know someone who would benefit from listening to it, would appreciate it if you share it with them. Would appreciate it if you got the word out about what we're talking about here. So secondly, if you want to take these strategies and tools and really implement them and need the guidance and the accountability to do so, we have a couple opportunities for you guys to do that. First is our mastermind. This is a tight-knit group of guys who are doing the work necessary to implement these various strategies that we talk about here on the podcast into their lives so that they can get the results, build the discipline, regain control over their time, and live life on their terms. You can apply to be a part of our mastermind program, the Infinite Results Mastermind Program, at kenyanziska.com/results. But if you want that one-on-one accountability, want to work with me on a very deep level, and want customized solutions, don't want that cookie cutter BS that a lot of people are pushing these days, I encourage you to apply to be a part of my discipline coaching program. This is an elite program, exclusive program, very limited with the number of clients that I take on with this program. So you can apply at kenyanziska.com/discipline. So without any further ado, let's jump into today's episode.
How's it going, everyone? Happy Thursday, almost to the weekend here. Just driving home as I usually am at this time of the day, and want to share a quick thought with you guys, and that's how to reduce stress and anxiety. Before I get into that, I definitely want to throw out the disclaimer or whatever it is and say that I'm not a psychiatrist, psychologist, or an expert in any sort of like anxious or stress-related disorders, and I'm not trying to pretend to be a doctor or anything here. Just want to share something that's worked well for me over the years, and hope to pass that knowledge on to you guys. But you know, if you have some serious issues, definitely want to consult your doctor and go that route. But anyways, the thing that gets me is people who stress out over some little things, and maybe I'm a little bit jaded from my time in the military. I'll admit that I've been exposed to some very stressful situations that perhaps other people may not have been exposed to. But something as simple as getting behind a microphone with my podcast, or even doing a Facebook Live like this, I still get anxious. I still get stressed out about, am I going to trip over my words? Am I going to trip over my tongue? Am I going to do this, that? All these things start going through my head. And, I'll go over a couple things here. The number one thing is to simply take action and reduce the space between the time that you come up with an idea or something that you want to do and the time that you actually do it. If you reduce that time between bearing the thought and taking action, you'll significantly reduce your stress. I mean, I get it that there are some hard constraints there and whatnot, but anything you can do to reduce that space between that idea and taking action will radically reduce your stress and anxiety of that action. So that's number one. Number two is to actually do things that stress you out and cause you anxiety, because our minds are wild animals and they blow shit out of proportion. I know it happens to me, even though I'm sitting here talking to you guys about it. It still happens to me pretty frequently that I make shit out to be a lot bigger than it turns out to be. And the thing that comes out of doing those stressful and anxious things is that you build confidence, and you build that muscle that, hey, you know what? Even though I am stressing out over this or I'm anxious about that, I still need to do it. I still am capable of doing it, even though I'm feeling this way. It builds that confidence, and it's going to get you to take more and more action. It's just going to spiral upwards. And the third thing that I want to mention here is that you have to become aware of your thoughts. And a lot of people don't understand that our thoughts are our thoughts, but at the same time, we can take a step back and observe our thoughts and really frame them in a positive light. Even though, thoughts, and I use this example all the time because I'm sitting here talking to you guys on my phone and on the podcast and whatnot, but I'm not the best public speaker. That thought constantly pops up in my mind, but the way that I can reframe that is just tack on to the end of it, but with practice I can be a great public speaker. And like I said, I'm still not good. I'm still going to keep practicing, and you just, if you don't become aware of your thoughts, and if you don't take the time to think about, hey, how can I frame this to get me to move, to take action, you're really just going to find yourself behind the eight ball constantly, and you're going to find yourself, with that idea that to start the podcast or to start that company or to sign up for that obstacle course race or that 5K or whatever it may be. You're just gonna sit there and think about it, and you're gonna think yourself out of doing that thing, whatever it's gonna be. And again, you're just gonna find yourself sitting on the couch when you could be taking action, and you could be moving yourself forward. And even if it is a miserable failure, and I've had miserable failures with podcast interviews and other things in my life, I'm still here, I'm still kicking away, and really the consequences weren't all that bad when I did have that epic failure, when I really tripped over my tongue and had that huge brain fog and that brain fart when I was doing an interview or recording a podcast. Beautiful thing about that is I've got editors, and you can edit things out. But when you're talking with someone one-on-one, there is that fear that, hey, I'm going to stumble over my words and this person's going to think I'm a douchebag or whatever. But you know what? Some of those interviews I've learned the most from. Some of those events are the biggest learning opportunities you can have. So stress and anxiety, those things that you stress and get anxious over, those are going to be the things that you learn the most from. Those are the biggest opportunities that you can take. And, what I want to leave you guys with is like, hey, you know what? Do those things that cause you stress and anxiety. Strengthen that muscle and get out there and do those things that are going to get you off the couch and take action. Start that business, start the podcast, get in the gym, and really just blow up your results. I mean, I really look back on my my 40 years, close to 40 years, and think about the things that I've been stressed and anxious over, and it's I kind of laugh at myself, but that's the beauty of hindsight. But if you do the same thing, I think many people will have a similar result with stuff like that. So that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. just get out there, do those freaking things. Oh man, there's a sorry to do the squirrel thing here, but there's a flipped over vehicle here on my drive home. Man. Anyways, what I want to leave you guys with is to get out there and do those stressful things, those things that cause you anxiety. I heard an analogy. I forget where I heard it from, and if you've heard it, let me know. But the American bison has an instinct of whenever there's a storm coming, they go to the storm. And many other animals like cattle and deer, they run the same direction as the storm goes. So if you keep running away from the storm, eventually it's going to overtake you. And if you keep heading the same direction, it's just going to stay over you longer and longer. But if you go towards the storm, like the buffalo, you're gonna have to endure some pain to go through that storm. But you're gonna pass through it much faster than those animals that are running away from it. So remember that. Keep that analogy in mind. If you're, if you find yourself stuck because you're scared or stressed or anxious over something, just be the buffalo and go towards the storm. That's what I'll leave you guys with. Have a kick-ass day. If you're watching live, let me know that you're here. Give me some thumbs up. Say hi to me. If you catch the replay, give me #replay. And if you need some help getting over some stressful or anxious situations, like I said, I'm not a doctor, psychiatrist, or psychologist, whatever you want to call them. But I can help you out, talk you through some things, implement some strategies for you. Can set up a 15-minute call with me for free. You can just go to kenyanxcuses.com/call, CALL. Takes you right to my calendar, and set up a time to chit chat with me. And if you want a little bit more than that, I'm also starting calling it the Discipline Deep Dive course April 1st. Got a couple people enrolled already, and we're going to kick things off next week a little early for those people who are early birds, who sign up early, commit early. I'll give you guys a little extra time, a little bonus time. Just go to kenyanxcuses.com/DDD for Discipline Deep Dive, and you can get signed right up. All right, guys, that's all I got, and I will talk at you later.